Hello, Echo 421. This is James Kusha talking about my tavern diastology paper. Um, we've done close to, well, actually over 200 taverns in the facility I work at, so I know quite a bit about it. My plan was to investigate the consequences of diastology once that TAVR valve was implanted. I looked into the scientific papers. I only found about 4 or 5 papers distinctly speaking about TAVR and diastology after the deployment. So my plan was to get data from about 50 of our patients. I looked at things like the E prime on the lateral medial, LA volume, the aortic mean velocity, or aortic mean gradient, the ejection fraction, LA volume indexed, and RVSP. I ran into some roadblocks. It turns out, especially in the beginning, we were very inconsistent. The measurements that we got, as time progressed, they became more and more consistent. But at the end, I could only reliably use about 7 of those patients. So I used the lateral E prime to calculate the statistical analysis. I used the t-test and the ANOVA looking for variance. As it turns out, the measurements that I did find, basically the t-test and the ANOVA said that there's no statistical difference between the two. But there is some hope in that the p-value that I calculated said, my sample size is very small, so it is possible with a larger group that there will be some positive change in diastology found. So to me that was sort of disappointing, because I thought for sure, you're taking that load off, the afterload off that ventricle, it was going to get a lot better in terms of diastology, but for my data it says no, and there's not much other data to say otherwise. So hopefully, as the measurements become more consistent, we'll be able to get more data and maybe create another hypothesis or two that will actually come true. The roadblocks I came into, I was also surprised just how hard it is to collect the data. That was very time consuming. And also trying to apply the correct statistical analysis test to it. I had to do a lot of research on that. And just the research articles for the TAVR in general, those are pretty interesting. I didn't know they have done 100,000. We've done ours since 2012, actually January 2012. So we've got quite a few under the belt, but there were still some things that I did learn. I was surprised the Europeans were that far ahead, and that was done in 2002. And also,